Hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha Whale, beginner artist self-proclaimed, and your boy Tosan Yu. Welcome to the art stream. For today I will be drawing the sheep Tsunomaki Watama from Hololive, the 4th gen. Welcome. If you're not really familiar like what I'm doing here and like what I draw, you have like on the left side some samples regarding art style. Most probably I will go with the simplistic style, and this can take like about 2 to 3 hours or so, and this is like also part of a kind of, how do you say that? Like something you do like regularly, you know? A rhythm, a workflow, not really like sure like how exactly you call it, but I like try every week like at least one time, and I've also like the goal on like drawing every single holo member, so this will be like something I might be like done within 4 months or so, but until then you can like see and expect that stuff from my side in the future. So and until like the picture like for today is done, you can like sit back, you can feel free to sit back and like listen to my yapping. For the most part I like talk on the stream, and let's say that like the last days I've like collected like about enough mana, enough like energy, enough on like stories, you could like also say, to like talk. But at the same time, man, it's like kind of like crazy how quickly bad things can happen, you know? I probably will not upload like artwork on Twitter, or like X how it's like called nowadays. And for Instagram, I also like think about not posting there anymore. Also, like many platforms, social media, where you have like the option of like uploading art, they are sadly not that artist friendly, you know? Like there's no place really to go, and I'm still, you know, pretty small. Like you have no chance anymore, kind of. And I think like the ship has sailed, pretty much, regarding opportunities with the art on those platforms. Not really sure like if it's like anywhere else like a possible, if there, you know, if anyone else is like reaching out the hand and yeah, I can grab onto this hand and then they carry me. Probably, I think. No, for the most cases in life, it's like always you have to carry yourself, you know. In many of those companies, you know, like that are like bigger nowadays, they started like when they were like, you know, pretty small, you know, they have like a garage or so. This was like their kind of basement, like their HQ, you know. This was like where everything started, and then it's kind of like cool, you know, to like know, yeah, you can do that too, you know, right? And with that, like make a story, like make some history, right? In a sense, and like grow further and further to make it like to be a top dog like that. But you don't necessarily like gain anything by just being generous, you know. Sometimes it depends on like how many people are actually using your product, you know. And then it's like a perfect place for like ad placements, right? Everything. I think like stuff like VLC media player, right? It's like a thing that uses that is like, you know, plays like videos, you know. And a lot of people use this, for example, right? But developers never agreed like to having ads on that thing, you know. Even if it's just like, okay, I want it done. I think they still like it to be that's like free, you know. Like once it has ads, like nobody will use the app ever again, right? Something like that. Even if you do like make a little bit of pocket money, the thing is just like, you know, once it's not like it was advertised, then yeah, it's like many contracts, you know, you like sign to. They have like user agreements. For the most part, people don't read them, right? Like when we get a manual on like how to use that thing, for the most part, people like, skip that and such. And then afterwards, they're like surprised on like, hey, why does it not work? You know, but you have to read. Actually, I need to like think about something regarding Watame energy. Not really sure. I'm thinking about something silly with Watame. Marukunai yone. There's something like that. And then she does like also random sounds and like eating. Yeah. Oh. Let me think. Right now, health-wise, I'm not doing so good. I think winter and cold temperatures got towards me. And since the last days, I feel like not really good. I was like drinking a lot of tea. I slept a lot, like about 10 hours or so. And didn't had like, let's say like if I look back at the days, I didn't really do much on productive things. I was just like for the most part resting and like watching stuff. But I think like also as well regarding eating, let's say that I didn't really do the utmost to like improve like things like, you know, eat like some veggies and eat like some healthy stuff, you know. And yeah, it keeps like going down, deteriorating in a sense. Now like I have like a little bit more resources, you know, but still need to like work, you know. It's still like I climb upwards. If I'm gonna let go, I'm gonna fall, and then it's like, yeah, need to like keep that up, but also like not the most easiest thing to do, I suppose. So yeah. But you know, when you have like not much of much like self-worth, you know? Like for my part, I don't really see myself as too much and put like myself at last. If it were like for other people, then yeah. But at the same time, you know, like regarding like Christmas, you know, some people like celebrate it together, be like with their family, and then yeah. For my part, however, you know, I just like was alone, you know, and I think like a lot of other people can like feel like the same way, be like loneliest, and then oh, let's go by Ushi streaming it, you know. Like I saw that like with a lot of like holomems there around this time, for example, where like also like streaming maybe like to be a little bit of you know, comfort, a source of comfort, you know, like in those times. In Japan, for example, like Christmas is not really like you know, like with Santa and everything, and but it's like more like, oh, that's like Valentine's Day, like that's like where couples like hang out each other and then like eat chicken or so, you know. Then they have like KFC, like, you know, as a thing. It's kind of like interesting, like how that transform like some of our festive, you know, like from the West, like the festive things, you know, like for their thing, you know, like Halloween, Christmas, Easter they don't have, you know, they don't really celebrate, but it's like, yeah, it's like so a thing. How do I do this? I don't know how this works. Okay. Have to transform again. I drew like from the wrong side. Oh gosh. I'm trying it again. Kind of like drawing a pose where it's kind of like rolling yourself in, you know, to like preserve like some body temperature and everything. Like if you roll yourself in, you know, like how some animals do that, you like preserve like more, you know, of your warmth and everything. Instead of like if you like focus everything in one spot rather than like extending it, like if you like standing up and like stretch, you know. I do like notice that when I like watch like some series, you know, some story, even if I read it, you know, they have like pictures. It's like always like when they're like sitting in front of a fire. It's not like that they're like really wide extended, but they're like formed like a ball, you know, like sitting in front of it, but then also like making themselves as small as possible, you know, to like preserve like more of the warmth they like receive. Where they have like a blanket, then some hot cocoa or so, sometimes like that, you know, like in front of a chimney, for example. Even like animals, even like some pets, you know, like other humans, could be like also great there to have like there, you know, to like bounce off from. And like Watame, for example, like a sheep, but it's just like sheep design. Yeah, she has like some fluffy clothes and like those horns, but other than that, there's like not much on fluffiness, you know, there, I must like say. I guess it makes like sense when there's like not too much focus on that, rather than like, hey, look at that character, you know, he's like based on that. Does look like good, you know. And then that's that. I'm gonna like see if like the balance is like okay. Guess like this is like too thick. The other one is like not so built out, but it doesn't like matter that much. Making like sure the balance of the sketch kind of like is right, and then I would like go in and start off. Like for my part, I can kind of like see myself like being in like this kind of body gesture position, or however you call it, you know. Like it's like something that like always like when I was like going to sleep, you know, like writing myself in. It gets like pretty cold, you know. Even like putting like turning on the heater, it's still like not quite enough. It's like still pretty cold. Like we don't have snow and everything, but so far I'm not recovering. So yeah, I've been like watching some anime. I think I like finished watching Clevates. There, it's like a dark fantasy thing in with like some dark fantasy. They have like magic and everything, with like some demonic beings, you know, and like some superpower like magic. It was like kind of fun because it's just like it used like a lot of like traditional like drawing techniques, you know, and cel shading to like make look things like a little more older, you know, even like with the hand drawn like stuff. They had like a lot of like budget, I think, or like at least like free time to like put in this much like effort in there. And recently I also started like Medalist, like some like anime in 2025 that have been like really good, you know, and like people like recommend it. And like looking through that, you know. But regarding like things like productivity, couldn't really do anything I wanted to. But then yeah. I see like also that gacha games really like take your time away. Like in order to like make more free time, I could like quit those, but this also feels like a waste of like the playtime I like invested. And like the money as well. Like once you started something, you want to quit it, you know, like we want to end it, you know, like reach the ending of the game and then like let's go. But some games, they don't really have that ending, you know, because they're like a live service game and they're just like there to like keep milking you out and out and out, and yeah. When it's like, I can quit whenever I want, you know. This is like what some people like say, like once they start a gacha game and, oh, aren't you like worried that you like lose money? Oh, I can quit whatever I want, I'm control. And then they don't realize that they are, that the one in control is like not them, you know, not themselves, but like the game. And then they got you in the grip, and then yeah, whatever. For now, like with Musume, for example, I'm not really spending, you know. Like you can play the game however you want and still have fun. It's like not really like much about your pulse, you know. It doesn't really like revolve around your pulse, like how your game appearance will like be. You maybe will like have like some new umas, you know, some new skills, some accessibility, but overall, if you like are free to play or whale or so, the game play experience doesn't change much, you know. Like the core's like, okay, you have like one girl you like raise and like you help her to finalize her dream, you know. It's not much about team trials, it's not much about champion speed, debuff nature also whatever build. It really is like about, yeah, make the character grow, support them, and it's like the premise of that. And the stories are like that too, in a sense, you know. And like based on like the horse racing mystery, you know, so there's like a layer of like, you know, realism in there, and it's like nothing they like just came up with, you know, which is like really cool. Personally, you know, when I like can like take things as a reference, I can like work a lot better with that. But the thing is like also, if it's like has some really good quality. But side games also like went ahead and like asked the horse owners, hey, can we use this, you know? And then at the same time, like they support like it's like a give and take in a sense, you know, they support them. And then a lot more eyes on that horse racing thing, and then it's pretty cool, you know. AI? I wonder if it's like the same thing, you know? Like, they take something from real life slash real people. They don't really ask for permission. And there are like some yeah, there's like some things that really could be improved on, but I'm not like really sure, you know. Guess you heard that. I'm ripping up some paper, you know. My nose is like running. Not talking that much. Because I can like kind of fear that you can like hear that on stream, you know, when I like blow like my nose or like pull up my nose, you know. But it does affect like my ability of like speaking. And I wanted to do like some let's say like offline, like continue on some projects, but yeah, it's like pretty bad, you know, like I can't really like restore my MP. I can't like really go forward as I like feel bad. I still can like continue working, of course, you know, like even if you like hindered your performance, you know, let's say like, oh, you, what can you say, you know, like let's say you're paralyzed, you know, like let's like say like Pokemon, like some kind of status debuff, you know, you're not dead, you know, you're like a little bit hindered in like doing a thing like movement wise or so, or like you see things like not so clear, you know, there's like a little bit of like inaccuracies, but overall you can like still work, you know, you can still walk, you can like still move, you can like still cook for yourself, whatever, but like things will be like nerfed, but still can still work. But for my case, kind of, it really like demotivates like unworking on stuff. And even like on stream, I feel like handicapped. But to be honest, I did like kinda like thought about like what is like missing, you know. I don't know. Let's restart. I don't have idea what I should draw. Like 30 minutes in. I erased all my attempts from before. Like an instrument. I will do something with that. To be honest, I didn't really have any ideas, you know. I knew like it was on the schedule that I should like stream today. But regarding like what I could like through like on the thematic or so, really the creativity was like lacking. This might be like one stream I don't finish. Not really sure. Like some funny face. Not really sure, man. I'm not sure. I would like to draw like something with a smug vibe or so. Smug would be like something like this, you know? I guess let me draw something simple. Let me draw something simple. Simple is the best, I think. I'm thinking about way too complicated things also. I think there's like one form of art block right now, right? That you don't have like really idea or so. And if it's like that, the tip is like, hey, Tosan, how about you draw like something like within 1 hour, you know? Not like that. Not like thinking about looking at 2 or 3 hours, you know? Like that you have like time limits, something like that. Like currently we're like 36 minutes in or so, but let me like complete it like within an hour or so, like from now, and then like let's see how far I come. And if I think like I can still do more, then let's do more. Currently I need a limiter, kind of, because I feel like really like distracted like from like how I feel. Probably will be a face only or so. I could do more, but let's keep it like simple for now. It's still in character, I think, to some extent. There's like this famous Watame face, you know, where they're like squinting their eyes and then like raising their mouth to a smile or something like that. feels a little bit empty if I don't use like the arms as well. Look, does he have sleeves? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like this. So I guess like will be the most silent stream of my side. I really feel like unable to talk. Usually I don't have a problem with talking, you know, to be honest. It's like crazy like how much can like happen like within days and you can like talk about those things, but usually it's like when like conversations like this comes up, you know, it's like all about, hey, what do you think about that, you know? It doesn't like really teach much on things. It like all accumulates like, this is good, this is bad, or so. Like, you know, like when you ask people, hey, how's the weather, you know? Or like, weather's good, right? It's like sunny and everything, man. Yeah, it is, man. We don't like learn much about each other, you know. This is like not what like it's like talking makes interesting. Not necessarily you don't have to necessarily talk, you know, as well. Like small talk for the sake of it, to like fill the emptiness. I can see it, you know, the reason like why you would like try like something like that, but it doesn't like lead too much, you know. But sometimes when I like see they at least like try something, then I like help them out and like direct like the flow of like the conversation like elsewhere, you know. So that will be like more entertaining. Unless I have like something to do, like, you know, like when people are like on their phone or so, right? Like nowadays. Back in the days, couldn't like do much. Maybe like read a book, you know? Like show that you're busy, or like newspaper. But nowadays you have like a lot of excuses. My excuse, for example, is I'm sick, you know. The frequency of like talking and drawing will be like a little bit hindered because I grab like some papers and then like, you know, to my nose. So this might be like a reason why like kind of like feel I lose like the direction of like the conversation, you know, like grabbing onto it, holding onto it, and then like leading further. But yeah, when like the things one are like talking about doesn't like really address like the environment, you know, like the like let's say weather or like what's happening like right now, like in front of us or so. But if it's like about, you know, like some experiences, you know, like topics like that, and like likes and dislikes, there like can be like some kind of exchange, you know, especially if it's something the other party does not know of. And I need to go to my door. Give you a moment. Okay, I have a visitor. Don't get too disturbed. Alright, gonna like see how I like make this work. Usually I can just draw the expression, but I feel like it's so empty if I like don't draw anything without. But yeah, regarding like the exchanging yourself regarding experiences or like and dislikes, especially if like the other party does not know, is not that familiar with it. Thing is like if you like constantly are like in an echo chamber, you know, of like the thing, like within the same bubble and everything, there's like not much new things to like learn, you know, unless like the group you're surrounding yourself are like some kind of experts, and then like you push yourself each other, you know, like it depends on like environment regarding like how much your world is like, expanding, you know. I say like world since like I watched like Clever Test and they talk like this was like some kind of a message like that, but regarding like expanding your world, like learning more things, learning like more about like what life in general has like to offer, you know. Let's say like you're like in a group of like smart people, like with goals, dreams, and like things to aspire for, then you as a result can like get kind of hooked like in that kind of like hype and determination, and maybe you will like want to do like things like that too or something like that. But if you're like in a group of slackers or so, then and like are lazy or whatever, then it is like that you feel like, okay, there's like no need, like my group is not doing it, then I also don't need to do it in a sense, right? But at the same time, you yourself has also, you know, like if you like encounter like someone who is like really influenceable, you know, you have kind of also like the power, the decision, if you can drag them towards, yay, let's work hard together, or let's relax, you know. It depends like on the context, of course, and everything, like how you use that, like similar like what the group can like do to influence you, you know. But it's always like your decision, like what kind of group you like wanna join joining in the first place. Sometimes it can't like not be the side, you know, like when you're like born, you cannot decide like with what kind of parents you like grow up with, you know. Can't decide if you're like rich or poor. It's like the kind of starter head in life. And obviously you don't like know how to play the game of life and everything. But as you grow older, if you have like internet access, you know, you have like some choices on like what you can like do. But the thing is like people don't really get a direction, like a walkthrough of life or so. And like, hey, where do I go next? Should I like go to this area next? Should I like decide to like get fighting experience, like get some EXP levels or so? This is not really like their real life, you know. And if you're like kind of conscious about that, you know, like that people don't really have a say in like where they're born or so, and then like you see what they went through, it can be like kind of interesting, you know, to like listen about those stories and like how, with what kind of starter they have played. Kind of, this can be like something interesting to talk about rather than like the weather also, right? Obviously, you don't have to be, you don't have to like choose topics like that, you know, especially if you like, oh, I kind of dislike this person, then it's like kind of fine, but wouldn't it be like interesting to like know how did they even turn out that way, you know? Like, you know, like with villains in a story as well. You do like to like kind of like find out, hey, the antagonist of the story, like what's up with him, you know? Why are they like that? Then yeah, that's like how kind of like things like develop. And you know, maybe I should have like given like some people like chance, you know, like I kind of like this like at first. Like sometimes when there's like an interview with those people, you know, and they're like went like viral because of some clips that this make like some certain impression, you know, and then they get interviewed, let's say like face to face, you know. Then it like kind of turns out, hey, actually he's like not like in this clip, you know, it was like just a hate of a woman. Once you like get to know more about them, then it's actually like not all that bad, you know, like on like how they seemed at first. And then there was like a reason, okay, yeah, it's recent outburst, heat of the moment. They said like things that like make regrets, you know, and yeah. And if you like learn about more their interests, about like how they started, like with kind of what kind of starter hand or so, and what they like managed to do, like let's say in social media, you know, maybe they got like many subscribers, they got like monetization, they can like make a living like with content creation, you know. It can be like yeah, more than like what it seems. Like you can't like judge people like by the cover, you know. But if it comes like to like dramas, controversies, then it's also like something kind of dangerous where it's like, you know, you get like influence, you know, like if you surround yourself with the wrong people or like with the right people, like you get influence in some way. And a lot of people have like the kind of impression, hey, this guy shocked his dog, for example. It kind of like seems that way, but do we know this true story? Like I can't like really say, you know. It seems like that, for example, but yeah. But yeah, in the first place, like in order to like expand your world or so, it really like needs like another person. So socializing, it might not be like for everyone like the thing. And sometimes it's just like better to like focus on your goals first, you know, like depending on like what your priorities are. But when there's like the opportunity, you know, and let's say like you're in a lift and then like go upwards as another person, if you like know the person somewhat, it's like your work colleague, then there's like maybe a reason to like talk to each other, you know, if it's like schoolmate, like someone you know, I guess, but it's like totally a stranger or so, then why not, you know? Like someone you like know, why not like try to like deepen the relationship a little more, be a little more the favorites on the favorable side also, you know, like share some thing here and there. Maybe you can like withhold some information. It's like also like possible, you know. But yeah, I think it's like overall like better if you like not only like find some comfortableness, but also like start dealing yourself better hands, you know, something like that. That you like make your decision in, you know, making a better like experience in life also. But also like being kind to people, so it's also like a thing that can be like what you can decide on. Like who deserves like that reward of yourself, you know? Like not everyone deserves it, of course. Ooh. Yeah, it's like becomes more and more recognizable. Okay, but really let me like see if I can really complete it like within an hour. So I think I have to like go a little bit faster. And like make things a little more fluffy looking. So like, yeah. Corsia sheep also. I have like the reference there, but man, it's like a first time drawing her, by the way, so there's like some kind of difficulty in making her like look okay. I also like I also like have to add colors, you know, so yeah. And if I upload it, it's probably like be on Blue Sky and like on Pixiv. Regarding like Twitter or like X, how you call it nowadays, and like Instagram, I'm like more hesitant. Maybe I like use something like a protection program, you know, like Nightshade or like Glaze, but it's only like working like for about like a certain amount of time or so, unless like people like find out, okay, we can kind of crack the code, like, you know, like with a passport, you know, like once they like know how to bypass it, it's like not that effective anymore. But you know, and also like trying to like protect your artwork is kind of a pain, I must like say, like to set up. Like I don't have like the beefiest kind of PC, you know, like if I want to like give artwork like medium protection or so, like from what I like found out from the program, I need to run it like for 14 hours and don't play anything, don't open like any programs, don't like watch a video or so that can like also like consume RAM and everything. And it's like you know, like if I'm like doing work or so, I can like let it run or so, but if I have like still my vacation or there's still like you know, like during like days like Christmas or like New Year, there's not a work day, not official work day or so. You can like still just stay at home and like relax. And during this time, you know, being like confronted with like news like, yeah, they added like a new feature to like X or so, and this has like something to do with AI, it's like, you know, there's not much you can really do, I suppose. Like nobody can really do anything there. Maybe like another rich person who actually like knows how to use their power like right, you know, like with responsibility. But yeah, looking like in the current state of the world, and then like look in history, you know, like how great leaders started off like doing bad decisions, you know, right? Kind of like reminds you of like Berserk as well, like when a great leader there just stopped like doing good decisions, like making good decisions or so, and then like inspired like into, you know, to something they cannot get out of under natural circumstances. I think like around here I cut it off also. It's like it's more difficult to draw around here. And then here are like some ribbons also. This is my first time drawing hers, but also at the same time I'm so handicapped, I feel like, that I need to like get it done first, you know, and then I can recover. It's kind of like work, I suppose, but need to like make sure to be like consistent. I uploaded like my art summary, by the way, like you know, like those kind of templates that have like 12 empty fields, empty spots, and you can like fill in there like your own artworks, you know. And I kind of like uploaded a summary like there for January, February, or like every kind of month, like I drew, like, you know, and I put up like a picture that I like the most, you know, and yeah. And looking at that, I see like I'm more consistent than like I was last year, kind of. Like just the last picture was like, okay, it's like not a chibi, you know, it's like Kanata, Kanata, and Kanata, so and I guess I got consistent, you know. There's like something I did accomplish this year, you know. Like, if we're looking back, hey, have you done anything productive this year? It'd be like, yeah, I did draw, you know. But it's about it, you know. You know, I really was like thinking, like, when I was like going through the last days, have I accomplished anything, you know? To be honest, I rested, you know. I watched some anime. Well, work-wise, no, not really progress. I couldn't even like play the games like from Steam, you know, to like make progress there. Like I got like Steam Deck, for example, then technically I can like play games while like Nightshade or like Clay is working, but you know, yeah. But I guess like Pixiv, Japanese, you know, site where you upload like stuff, for now seems like the safest option, even though you can't interact with your community that much or so. But I guess like YouTube is gonna like stay like that way for me. I can like draw and that, but at the same time, like one dream, you know, is kind of like that. Like back in the days. It's not really like a big of a dream, you know, it's like not like, man, I want to be the best mangaka ever, I want to be the king of pirates or so. It's just like, you know, I wanted to get like a certain amount of followers on like X or so, like 5 digits, you know, something like that. But with like how bad the algorithm becomes, you know, and that is like pay to win, yeah. Even like that things have like something to do with like AI, in like using everything you like posted on images or like written form, it's like feeds into like their program, yeah. It's kind of like FU to like artists. Obviously, this feature was like kind of there before it got like more in your face like on Christmas, but yeah, it kinda like really shows they don't care. Like usually I use like Twitter to like look at some images and like upload my art, you know. But now I really like, now it's like kind of to a point where I like see like, yeah, I guess I should not upload my art anymore at all, you know. And yeah, I guess like a lot of artists have like the same kind of sentiment there. They like to interact with the community. Hey, let's share like my valued art pieces like there. And you know, but yeah, even if like some of the stuff I, for example, like draw are like not really like desirable to like copy and like train like our program, you know, there's still like potential that at some point, you know. But yeah, I guess it's not that interesting, you know. DTR's just like, yeah, it's bad, and that's about it. Will there be a change? Can we like expect like a happy ending or so? More unlikely, you know. So it's like all about like, hey, what can we like do then, you know? We still have like decision power, you know, like kind of like we can not really change the world around us, but we can change like, you know, we can like change our mindset, we can change, we can like decide on like our own like kind of things, you know. We have also a little bit of decision power, like within our power, you know, like we do what we can. And for my case, we'll continue like doing stuff, but just like without that one platform, I suppose. And yeah, like one way to move on, I suppose. Hello, it's been a few days. Yeah, it has been like since, I don't know, Tuesday I streamed? 2 days? In a sense, few days are like minimum 2 days, yeah. But in any case, hello, Random Weep. Welcome to the art stream. Electron here. The sheep. Tsunomaki Watama. Welcome, welcome. Then he's trying to. It's my first time trying here. I feel like really handicapped. I'm sick. So I might like stop yapping. I might stop drawing for a moment just to like to blow my nose. You know, but you're welcome to like stay like in scuffed version of like art streaming today. Also had like some visit and everything, but they were pretty respectful on like me streaming. I appreciated it. So I think it means Watame, not Wakame. I think Wakame was like this food item, I think. The seaweed thing also. But yeah, I do get what you like tried going for, but you know, I give you a gold star. How big do you want it? But yeah, I feel like the next days I don't know, like currently I'm like really in the mood on like really slacking, like not doing anything productive. There's still like some possibilities, you know, to like make it like with art, but it really has like become a hobby, you know, pretty much. It's like not something I like can do with like a career in mind or so. Like getting like some fame online or so. It's just like I do like a thing I like do on the sidelines and like I talk also. Like, and it's like perfectly fine, you know. I can like still draw thumbnails, I can like still do like some cool things with it, you know, like emotes and such, but just like, you know, there are like less options kind of. Which is like still fine, like it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of like disappointing, you know. It was like a platform where I had like the most amount of like numbers, I was like say, but yeah. Only the same, I'm supposed to be studying right now. Alright, then do so, I suppose. Not really sure like how helpful it would be if you have like me in the background, since I'll be yapping, I might be like distractive or so, but sometimes I will not be yapping since I'm kinda like deep, I'm really debuffed, you know, I'm like sick, like for the past few days. And like deciding, hey, let's eat some instant noodles and so, and yeah, I didn't have that in a long time, and phew, yeah, it didn't really do well. Actually should have like chose like a more balanced like meal also, like a diet. You call it like that, right? Like for like decision making, like eating what you and like eating stuff. Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of like maybe it's like my own fault, you know. It's kind of like um always like oversleeping, eating instant noodle, not eating a balanced meal, and then catching a cold. How the hell could that have happened? Surprise Pikachu face, you know. But okay, I learned something. The thing on like fix up your health, it will not be instantaneously, you know, like in some video games, you know, you can like, let's use like Q or let's use like a panacea or so, or whatever. But in real life, you don't really have like an instant solution like that. It needs overall like time to like heal up, you know. And also time to like improve like skills, also like leveling up, like of course, like if you play games, things like accelerated, but in real life, you know, it's like pretty slow. Some games are like slower paced, like Animal Crossing, you know, or like some simulation games, maybe like visual novels, you know, like dating sims, Japanese ones. But overall, you know, it's like somewhat sped up. Like life is not a good video game, but if you can compare like a lot about it like with video games, it can be like slightly more enjoyable to like go through. Or maybe you like learn how to play the game of life in the first place, and then maybe you can enjoy it, you know? Like games are not usually fun to play if you don't like know how it's supposed to be played, like tutorial phase and so. It can be like pretty boring. Like in school, elementary school, you know, or like school in general, we receive like some tutorials, you know, and a lot of people don't really like tutorials. I suppose maybe like that's like why people don't like school. And then they'd rather like have the solution when they use like ChatGPT or so, you know, like that their solution is like in their pocket, you know. I don't want to do it, let me slack, I want to sleep, let this thing do it, you know, kind of like someone who does the chores for them, you know. Like, but to be honest, it's not a chore, it's like a tutorial. Like you set your AI, robot, whatever to like do a tutorial, and then you yourself, you know, let's say if there's emergency, there's like a knife attack, and then what if your AI companion or like your robot is like not there anymore, you know? You kind of need to be self-sufficient, you know, in that sense. So like studying, yeah, really good decision, you know, kind of. To be honest, I didn't like really plan on like responding to that, you know, like that much, but I guess like it kind of like drifted out in this way, you know. Satsudans are like this. Random talks. Well, but it really goes a long way to like learn critical thinking, maybe self-defense, whatever. Maybe like learning how to do your dishes or whatever, you know. It's cool like when we have like a robot doing this for us or so, but if the robot does not work, or if there's no robot in the first place, then we have to like be self-sufficient, you know. They're like kind of the genre right now that people like girl failures or so, but it's like a lot more approachable than like, you know, like some superstar, some rich CEO or so, whatever, you know. But in general, if you're like a useless piece of whatever, then yeah, who wants you in the first place, you know? So it's like, also like, I think about self-improvement, you know, like learn some skills, maybe a language, you know, whatever. Whatever's like your interest, what is like fun for you, but, you know, do something for yourself, like maybe make a niche, you know? Like, for example, in Sakamoto days, there's like this guy who's only good at sniping, and the rest he sucks at, but he's good at sniping, you know? And then, yeah. And then he earns himself like some cool nickname or something like that. Maybe you are like some kind of one trick pony or so, you know? Usually like the jack of all trades does a lot better than the one trick pony, you know? Even if you are not a S rank in every kind of subject, if you like everything like a C, a D, you still have like a lot more better career path in front of you than like the specialist itself, you know? It can like also work. Anything that slightly interests you, like try to learn that. Even if you don't do good as it, you know, there's like something you can talk about. And if ever like a conversation comes up, you know, it just like shows how much wisdom you have, and then it's kind of like bullshitting your way, kind of, you know. I know of that, I know of this, you know. You're not necessarily a master, but because you know of that, you can like talk about it, and then it kind of gives the impression that you know like stuff, you know. And this can like be good at interviews. Give a good impression, you know, something like that. And it's not necessarily like that you lied to them, it's just like you know of that thing, you know, and then you can like share some experience there and a little bit of insight. But just like you have a little bit to like mask it, you know, like not like tell a white lie in a sense, or like leave some details out, you know, and still like speak the truth. Right? Can be like really fun to like experiment like with that, I think. In that sense, I kind of bullshitting as well, like when I like do Satsudans or like talk on stream, but it does work out, you know, because there's like the experience kind of like as well. And people think like, oh, Tosan, you seem to know a lot, but yeah, it's just like because I mess up, you know, and in a sense, which is like not totally wrong, you know. Sometimes I do like say like the wrong things or like do the wrong things, but I learn and then I can like share that, you know. In a sense, as well, sharing that knowledge is like not necessarily like a bad thing, you know. Why do I need to gatekeep it, you know? But the thing is also you have to find me in the first place and be interested like what I'm talking about. Like I don't really like. Sometimes I do clips, but I'm pretty lazy. The last days I've been just like sick and then was like laying in bed, like maybe like scrolling my phone a little bit, and then yeah, and then I used up all of MP and then no MP anymore, you know, everything used up, all my action points are gone. Now let me rest and then yeah. Like, to be honest, it's better to like, you know, regarding learning about like, doing something productive. Like, when you work first, or like go to school first, and when you like back at home, like around evening, it's like, oh, I don't have energy anymore, let me rest, you know, then you don't have motivation to like do anything productive anymore. It's like mostly better do the things that are not fun first, and then do the things that are fun at the end of the day, like video gaming or so. But then there are also gacha games, when the daily login, and then like the energy that like regenerates, and then, you know. It's more optimal to play it like during the whole day rather than like at the end of the day. It's also like, yeah, if games don't have energy anymore, you know, like gacha games or so, would be great. Like things like they log-ins for like clips you paid, you know, there's like currently like that. This is okay, you know. But if I have to log in like more than once, you know, this can really like destroy productivity of like some people. So the simplest solution is like to like stop the cycle is like to quit the game. Like stop playing that. Put it away. But there's a dilemma with that. To archive. We were Musume. Yeah. Back in days I also played like Guess for 2. Reverse 1999. I'm interested in playing like Arknight's Enfield, you know, because it's a game that doesn't really revolve around your pulse. At least like what the reviews say. From playing like the beta test. And even if you don't play, you still can like passively generate like some resources, you know. You don't have to like... It's not really like cash grab or anything, you know. I mean, I have like good experience in like playing Arknights, the regular Arknights, the tower defense one. I had some complaints, like nitpicking and so, but overall, it was a good experience, you know. Like gameplay wise. And like, how some pulls are not really necessary, you know. You can like still enjoy the game, you can like still be smart, you know, about the placement of like stuff. Even if I feel like some broken options, you know, you still have to like to think about how to use them, you know. But even if you don't have them, you can borrow also. Like, at least like have one broken character, then you can kinda like clear the stage, you know. If you're like smart on like how to use them. And also have like the other free-to-play options like built out, you know, like that those are like somewhat like ready. I kinda like that, you know. Like when the word is not necessarily about pay to win, but like about, you know, using your starter hand actually. Like in life, you know. Like the more fair it is, the more I like the game, you know. With Blue Archive, there's like currently like a little bit of a issue like there regarding the balancing meta, I must like say. I have like less and less fun with that game, like gameplay wise. But also I lack like time, I must like also say, since I like start streaming, I like do more projects, you know, and yeah. But to be honest, I'm not really getting to finish those projects because of like gacha games, and it's like also a pain. So yeah. I kinda like think if I should like quit now. But yeah. Like those games, the games, not streaming. The thing is also, games, developers, they can like listen to the feedback and then be like, okay, I listened to the issues you have, let me fix that, you know. And then if they implement like some quality like of life like that, then, you know, I cannot escape hell. I cannot escape, you know. I'm still stuck. And then yeah. It's like that. But I know like for sure if I miss me I will not be able to escape. There's like absolutely no reason to go, you know, since the pros outweigh the cons. For Blue Archive, I can still enjoy it without playing the game. But still would be nice to get the PNGs of like the anime girls, you know. like read their story if I have pulled them. Same time I can like read them online, you know, like some people like, hey, I pulled them, I recorded the story and now you can, and so that you don't have to like pull them, you know. And it's just like the kind of give and take. I give you like views, I give you a like, maybe like a thumbs up and subscribe. And then, you know, keep playing the game for me. Something like that, you know. This kind of give and take. And this can also work. But at the same time, you cannot read at your own pace. It's also a dilemma. So yeah, you can't have everything, but, you know. At the same time, if I have the account though, I could do a read along, do it at my own pace, you know? It's also like, yeah, you know? Even like doing the bare minimum takes time away, it's like the fishing thing also. Like just doing the daily logins and then the dailies to like get some pull currency and then try to like be platinum, like, you know, like in a competition, like, it's not a competition, but you know, it's like with like the champions meeting, you know, to get the mini rewards, kind of. Like on pull currency, like pull tickets. It's like that all over again. And even that takes a little bit of time. A gacha game session is like 3 minutes max. Or like, let's say like on average like Arknights, Blue Archive, River... okay, maybe not quite, you know, like Chinese gacha games have like the issues like the story pacing. But you know, like, you know what I mean? Like just playing a mobile game, you know, it's like arcade game, like on to go. This shouldn't take like 30 minutes. It's like, you know, like something you can do in a work break or like school break, like 50 minutes or so, you know, something like that. Like average session. And if you like try hard, then maybe like 1 hour or so, you know. Like something reasonable. Okay, regarding the 1 hour gap, you know, like since I like started. We are like 50 minutes in, and I'm like done with the line art. Have I anything done with the colors? Not yet, but looking at this 1 hour rule or so, I feel like, okay, doesn't look so bad, you know, it's like pretty recognizable. I think I can still like improve something with the line art, but if I like input some color, then it should look decent or so. Like not amazing, not breathtaking, but you know, it captures the energy, kind of like, Charlie, I don't like this picture. The smug energy mocks me. You know, something like that. Okay. But you know, regarding playing games and sharing content, I was also like thinking about like playing some eroge, you know, games with erotic content and share my gameplay there. The thing though, because it says erotic content, you can't really show them on platforms like YouTube, you know. Then you have to actually edit them. And this takes me a little bit back to the good old days, you know. For example, PewDiePie did like a sponsor video. This was like something Nutaku or so. And he played like something like that on stream, not on stream, like he did a video, you know. And I kind of like, you know, how funny and spontaneous like things were. but also like genuine to some extent, you know. Of course, he's a grown-ass man. Of course, he can like play hentai games, you know. It's not what like youngsters can do, you know, or idols even, you know, as well. Like I think like No Holo Pro. Oh, actually, there was like Flair who played like eroge on stream, and like I was thought that hey, that's funny, you know, let's do that too, you know, like do that bits, you know, for the clips as well. But yeah, it was like kind of it can like be pretty cool content, you know, like just for the fun. But also some eroge have like really great story, really good gameplay also, and then you know, like different review videos are also like kind of interesting, you know, like Fear and Hunger, for example. It's not really like eroge, but it's like an 18 plus kind of game, because it is like pretty gory, and it's a pretty dark game, you know. It's like kind of worth to explore that game, you know, Fear and Hunger. Like with disturbing scenes, but something of a message, you know, as well. It's something worth exploring, yeah. They played like some really interesting eroge. And there's still like more out there, you know, that I could play. It's similar like to the RPG Maker Iceberg, you know. I saw like something like that. Like Japanese RPG Maker games, for example. And man, I would like to play those games more. But the free time. Like I'm working, you know. 8-hour job. And currently we don't have manpower, so it's like a 10-hour job like each day. And sometimes we have to work on Saturdays too, and you know. Usually it's like a week, I've worked like 5 days. And this was like okay, but now it gets more. At least not as bad as in Japan, you know. But I kind of like understand it more. I would say I'm gonna go color. The 1 hour mark is like kind of like over, but this will still continue there. Like 1 hour mark I like kind of personally set there. I guess like talking distracted me, and also my nose as well. It's like the main perpetrator. Okay. Alright, looks okay. A little bit with the hands. There are like some white spots. Let's see. Everything alright with the streaming apps. Yep, so far everything is fine. Alright, then let's continue with coloring. Eto. Wrong layer, I suppose. Well, let's see what I can remove. Line arts are not the cleanest, but to be honest, it's like fine for me. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as I can like get across what I want to like convey in my work. Line art wise, I can still do a little bit more. It's like one part I'm like really particular about. I don't know. Like the general shape of like things, about the consistency. But to be honest, like if it comes like to food, for example, like consistency, for the most part, like back in days, and sometimes somewhat like today as well, like if I have to like be more careful with like money spending, then I'm gonna be like, okay, ice cube soup or so, you know, ice soup. For me, it's like important that I get like full, you know, the taste also not that important, you know, as long as it gives me the, like the necessary nutritions, you know, to be healthy and like fills my stomach, it's fine, you know. And with art, sometimes it's just like, for me, when I'm like want just to finish, it's like it just needs to be convincing, you know. The others need to be perfect. Sometimes the exceptions, yeah. I lost what's so similar. Exceptions, like with Kanata, there bottom left, that I like go like all out and try to make it like as good as possible, even though in the end it's like just a basic pose and so, but like, you know, make it a little more special, you know, kind of. Okay. Ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba. Ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba. But you know, regarding like the editing thing on X, I tried a little bit out of my chibis, you know, and I kind of like figured the tool is not really able to like do anything good with my art style. It doesn't like look as good as the original, for the most part. I think at some point I will figure out, you know, but for now they have like problems with that. They don't get the clothes right or so. They don't really understand what the characters are like wearing, or like what they're based on. Like, if you guys, for example, like know that's Watame, then it's Watame, you know, but when the eye looks at it, then they don't really like know who's this character even, you know? And then I can't really generate the clothing like properly for them, you know? Like I draw them like with half body instead of like full body, for example. But even if I draw them full body, it's so it still has like issues here and there. And some I've like poisoned, like some pictures that I've poisoned, man. It can like really look horrendous on like what comes out afterwards. So yeah, it's like interesting, like the fight against like technology as an artist. But I wonder like why we do have to fight that in the first place, you know? Like I wonder who came like up with the idea, like to make that in the first place. It's kind of like, you know, like when the zombie apocalypse like breaking out, like who's responsible for like that it broke out in the first place, you know? Like in many zombie apocalypse like kind of things, there's no explanation like why it like broke out in the first place. I mean, it all like depends on like the characters, you know, like how would they survive in the situation, kind of like that, you know? When there are like people who like, oh, I want to be a zombie too, then I want to be immortal, and yeah, probably it's not quite the same, but you know what I mean? Like, when like some, let's say like some evil forces like invading our place, then If you can't beat them, join them, you know, something like that. It's kind of like that. But still, there are like some people like me who really enjoy like the progress of like drawing, you know. Because there's like kind of a history of that. Like if you, for example, enjoy like Dragon Ball, like Berserk, and then like Berserk, for example, man, the details, amount of details, you know, like in each like page that is like put in there. It's like pure art, or like Junji Ito, you know. Kinda makes you want to try that too, like try hard, like put like everything into like a drawing. But then there are people who like only think about efficiency when they're just like that. I'm kind of I'm pretty disappointed, you know. But yeah, can't be helped. Shogunai, you know. Just pack like the, you know, your luggage and we're like, Ikuzo, let's go to our new Promised Neverland or so. I think like the Japanese sites are like maybe the only like ones that are reliable. They're like things like, what was the set called? Like Pixiv is like there, yes. What was the other thing? I wonder. Oh god. Oh. But this was like a Japanese kind of website, and there I would like find artists, especially like those who like draw spicy art. It's not as good as like X, but you know. But if I would like to animate content, you know, like in GIF form or like a little video skit, I think like YouTube is like still really good for that. But of course I need to give it like some kind of reason to like exist, you know. Like if it has a storyline or so, like something, not only it's like, hey, I made this, take a look at that, you know. Like for YouTube content and then like you know, like content that you would upload on Pixiv. It's like pretty different, you know. Of course, one platform can't do everything, but Twitter was like almost perfect for that, you know. It was a really good site. But if you like think you have like experienced the worst, it can like get worse. You're still like in a downward spiral also. You know, like when a graph goes like up and down, like I think like we are like somewhere about here, it can like go even worse, you know, then can we even go up at this place? I don't know. Maybe we like collapse further and further, maybe we stay consistent, then like further below, I don't know. Like it might like go like this, you know, keep expectations low. Like if you do like a graph for like you know, fuck ups in like history, you see like a lot of like things like on downwards, and then like, okay, like during the World War, for example, and then like the Cold War, everything, you know, but you know, just keep doing your best. Just do what you can. In some stories, you know, like when the main character, they're like the chosen one, they can do like, save the whole world and everything, but usually they're accompanied by a party, you know, because in the end they can't do everything alone. They need some help. Someone who can lockpick, you know, for example. Someone who's like able to cast magic to heal, or you know, like especially if you're like reincarnated or like you're like some kind of farmer boy, and then you don't have education, you know, and all of a sudden you're like the chosen one, something like that, right? Something like that. Even if you yourself believe to be the chosen one, there's still some limits, right? There's still some limits to like what you can and can't do. You're not like some superhuman. Well, there was this politician, you know, I think, who was like a boxer, and then he wanted to be a politician or so. Maybe like this is a special case, you know. There's like a guy who can like fight, but also, you know, as like I say something like what can go on the country, you know, in a sense like this. This is a kind of rare case. But to be honest, if you would like write a fantasy story, or like if you read a fantasy story, this would be like all too surprising. But you know, like seeing this in real life though, it's kind of like, okay. I wonder like who was this kind of politician? I think like this was somewhere in Germany or like somewhere like in Europe or so. There was like I don't know. I don't know if I remember correctly, you know, like if it was like a European or like some USA, like a Westerner, you know, but there was this guy called Klitschko or so, who's like a boxer, like a fighter, you know. And then he's a politician now or something like that. It's nothing like too interesting, you know. It might be like interesting for like a week or so, then like people will forget about it. But for some reason, I still remember that, you know. It was kind of like, yeah, that stands out a little bit. But overall, it's not that interesting. It's kind of like those fantasy stories, you know, like when the strongest sword fighter and the kingdom is like, you know, as like I say in the politics. That they don't necessarily need a bodyguard because they can like bodyguard themselves, you know. They can protect themselves. But to be fair, if you can defend yourself, if your ability to like argue and discuss like topics is like on the weaker kind of side, then maybe you don't have anything to do like there, you know. Maybe like, you know, maybe that's not where it's supposed to be. It's kind of like, you know, going to a gunfight, but with a sword, you know, something like that. When you're talented to like, you know, it's kind of like Dilemma kind of as well. I think like he really wanted to do that, you know, it was a stream. Or like something he wanted to do at the very least, you know. Let's say you are like... It's your dream to be like become a politician, but you're like talented to be a fighter, you know? Then it's this dilemma, kind of. But it's like still cool in the end that you like still made it to like where you wanted to be. It will like have some eyebrows in the end, but it will have some raised eyebrows or so, but in the end I personally can like respect that, you know? It's just a little bit weird. It stands out, you know? But overall, I do not care really. I suppose. But this was like kind of a thing. She has a cape, I forgot. She has a cape. That means there's like a little bit of nuance with like the color tones. Like, I forgot, like I look at her character design right now. And I remember like from her 3D videos, or like when she was live in 3D, that there was like something like a cape. I don't know why she has it, but she has it. So I need to like make it justice, you know, like with the character design. Do you like the pictures for so far? Or is the smug like mocking you? I don't like this picture, Tosan. It smug mocks me. Understandable. To be honest, if you like would comment that, you know, I would not mind, to be honest. I do not mind. I think it's just like fun to draw like faces like that. The thing is like if I draw faces like that, I optimally do a similar expression, you know, kind of. Well, it depends, you know. I think like if I draw chibis, it doesn't really activate that I like copy like the expression. But okay, I think like so far it was like not so bad, like of how I like bought some time. I thought I talked like about some stuff that I think it was kind of interesting, like about decisions live. What you can do with that, how you can like make a conversation like a lot more interesting. Also, regarding this trivia of Watame, I don't really have much to tell, to be honest. We all like know this kind of thing that like went viral because of Asakoko is like this Watame wa warukunai yo ne. The thing like kind of like it's not Watame's fault, you know, it's not my fault. It's like that her debut stream was like super scuff or so. Because of like some internet connection issue or so. And then she like would like put that out, and then like Kyokoko would do her Asakoko like with her news, you know, like what's going like with like some whole live streams and so on, and then this would like get out when she like quoted that, and this became a meme, and then like a lot of people like, man, I love Watame, let's watch her streams, I like her attitude, you know. Even though this was like a spur of the moment, she was like, man, this was such a bad stream, I messed up everything, and then I'm such a failure, and then a lot of people be like, hey, I love that moment, then, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it gives like a motivational boost, you know, gives kind of a push. And yeah, it's like the kind of story of like that, I suppose. A lot of people like are like aware of that, like who were like watching, I think like around 2020, 2019 or so, but you know, it's like something that a lot of like people like from back in the days like know. Like those people like started like with watching EN, you know, like with Justice or like with Council or whatever, probably will not really know, but you know, if you needed like the context regard to the Watame wa warukunai yo ne, you know, well, that's like this context there. And then I know she's like a good singer, she is like one of the voices that are like standing out. Yeah. I guess I can give more details to the horns. But how do I do this? Yeah. Yeah. If I look like at the second screen by OBS, it doesn't look so bad. Interesting. I thought like would like look a lot worse. Like the lighting on the one screen, the other screen are like pretty different. But I probably have to like to do some color adjustments to like make really sure it looks like good. I can like do it in that other program, but yeah. Though I think like regarding shadows and everything, I can like use a really lighter tone for that. Let's see what I can do. Also like Bay login bonus. Yeah, I talked something about that. Clipsy the Paint has like something like that right now. And if you get like all those clippies or so, you can use that to like get like some useful tools like 3D models, background models, you know, some cool pens that are like customly created, custom made. And there's like a lot of cool things like the Clippy shop also. I saw what was like a reminder of that because like someone posted like Full Metal Alchemist meme, you know, like don't forget, and then they would like insert their clips they log in or so. And it's like a campaign that's like runs until the 26th of January. I think they are like willing to give 25 to 30 points or so, like with the daily logins. So if you have been like there since like today, if you like start today, then you should be like fine to get like everything there, I suppose. To be honest, also like those Clippy points, you can't really store them. They have like expiration date, yeah, something like that. So be careful with that as well. It's not gonna run. It's like, yeah, it will run away at some point. But you know, just that you're informed. I mean, I really could have talked about our topics, you know, like my favorite anime or so and everything. But to be honest, I don't really think much about favorite anime or so. If I had to ever, to be honest. I wonder like what people like think, you know, like when they ask like questions like that. Like some people like send me marshmallow, hey, what are your favorite movies or so? And it's like, answer the question, okay, can you give me a like? Something like that, you know. It's kind of like a give and take, of course. Like the interaction farming or so. But if I'm like drawing, it's like hobby right now. You know, I should not expect anything. But deep inside, there's like a little bit of expectations. Because I had like the dream of like getting like to a certain amount of numbers with like followers. And I think like I'm really like out of the loop for that. Like the time's like over pretty much. I can like still do streaming, but to be honest, like even streaming I don't have like, let's say like that I only do that like to, I don't know. I don't do the for money, to be honest. I don't like money right now. But I'm still like keeping up since, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I'm like kind of like fun with life with that. It like helps with my talking skills, yes. To be honest, I like find like out, hey, actually you can like do stuff, you know, you can like talk, you don't like freeze up anything, and yeah, it's like working so far. It clicks, you know, in a sense. I would like to keep that up a little bit more. It's fun. But regarding like Kanata, for example, she's gonna stop tomorrow like her activities as an idol streamer and idol in Hololive. And she's gonna make it as fine as possible, like similar to like Coco or like to Aqua, like anyone who had like kind of a big bang. You know, that there's like not really a guarantee that will come back or so. But at the same time, we have like Susara Lulu, you know, who did make her comeback. It was like not that big, you know, it's kind of like pretty normal-ish with the return stream. Kind of like a re-debut stream, you know, when that's me, there's my likes, my dislikes, I like playing those games, this is my name, this is my hashtag, you know, something like that, pretty basic. And it kind of feels like nothing has changed at all, in a sense. When you close your eyes, this kind of thing, you know. It feels like that nothing has changed at all. Like, yeah, it's saying like wrong on purpose, you know. Like not to trigger like anything onto copyrights. But to be honest, I don't have to fear anything since I don't advertise right now. But no, just in case, like for future stuff. But it's like kind of funny, like when like with streamers I like watch, like they sing like that on purpose, you know, like they pause, like, you know, like Persona, you know, like who's like pretty like serious, like with the baby, and then like, you know, when they pause, when they continue again, they pause, continue. It's like little bits, you know, that like a little bit stretch it out, like kind of a filler, I feel like. But you know, it can still be funny, like if you count it the first time. Ooh yeah! Ba 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 ba. Baby, you know, something like that. But yeah, Persona music is like, I don't know, I really vibe with it. It's like really like jazz, pop, you know. It's like really uncommon, like for RPG, for like RPG-ish game, you know. Like usually we have like things like Dragon Quest, like fantasy, we go like an adventure, you know, defeating the demon lord, something like that, you know. Then it would be like a lot more epic, a lot more fantasy like, you know. And then we have like jazz, you know. Do you like jazz? And then it's like teenagers dancing, you know, like school kids, you know, something like that. And then they look like pretty cool, have a lot of charisma, you know. It's kind of like, you know, Persona kind of like slaps. But the games are so long. I did not have a chance to play this at all, I think, unless I retire. But I can like watch the anime, you know. Regarding like Persona, I watched like Persona 4, like anime, and Persona 4 Golden. I think like I got like the context pretty much of that, like what's going on. And regarding Persona 3, I watched the movies, but I was like asking like a Persona fan, like our friends, and hey, was the movie like has a target audience like for like those who played the game or so? And then kind of confirmed, it was like, yeah, okay, because I kind of didn't got into it, you know, even though it looks really cool, and then they're like Akihito, like really cool characters and such, you know. There's like also like this cyborg girl there, I think, like I forgot her name, but yeah, you know, there were like a lot of cool characters in there. Akihiko, yeah, Akihiko. I do the usual for the backgrounds, because I'm lazy. I'm gonna keep it simplistic. But so far we are 2 hours in, and I thought about like something like that, you know, like that Shrine takes like a Hololive character, like you know, when I draw like this, it takes like around 2 to 3 hours. And to be honest, for the first 30 minutes, I didn't really accomplish anything. I started like really drawing about the 30-minute mark. So this takes me like done in 90 minutes. Kind of. So far. Not bad, right? What you can do in a short amount of time, while like talking, while having like a little bit of fun, sharing like, a little bit of like, I don't know, some stories or a little bit of wisdom, my nuggets of wisdom, but usually I don't like drop like nuggets, it's like, you know, like gold bars of nuggets, gold bars of wisdom, kind of, I don't know, but I'd like to tell like stories, you know, a little bit, and like what I know, what I don't know, or like a little bit of my opinions here and there. Like, I like to fill a little bit the nothing with like something. The nothingness. A little bit of like color in the everyday. Yeah. You like that, right? But to be honest, gamers, they always need like a little bit of a reason to like play a game, you know? Like, a little bit of dialogue, a little bit of story, a little bit of the characters. Can we get invested into that, you know? Like, it's not always the gameplay. But sometimes the gameplay is so good that it like, you know, that you can like ignore like a lot of like bad things. But sometimes some games don't have gameplay, you know, like Doki Doki Literature Club, you know, it's like about setting the tone, like about the characters, you know, like some message, you know. And initially a lot of people like who played Doki Doki, you know, the depression of like Sayori, you know, like this is like where people like kind of like got hooked into that, and then all of a sudden the genre shifted, and then it's like, what the F? What the hell? What is that? What did I just witness? Oh, if you want to find out, just play further. But man, the title screen looks so different and everything. What's going on, man? And when they like are curious, you know, I need to go in. I need to know what happened with like my friends, you know? It's like, you know, this kind of meme, you know, like when I go down the tunnel or so, down the rabbit hole in a sense. You know? And then it's like where they get hooked. It's kind of like that. But yeah, I really think about like playing some eroge, like recording some videos, and then editing it, and maybe kind of do a review. There are really some gems I like played, like in the past. I would like to talk about that, but man, it's too spicy. Maybe I can do memberships, so if I can unlock that, but to be honest, I need to give you a reason to like, you know, give me more views in the first place as well. Videos are like really good in the meta, to be honest. Like when I just uploaded a clip, you know, this did really well. I was like thinking, like when I'm looking at the analytics and so. But man, it takes like some time with scripting. I have the voice for that, I can draw, but man, it takes a lot of time. But also have like the kind of promise, okay, I stream like every week 3 times, you know. So it's like pretty difficult to like keep that up, you know. But I do what I can, I suppose. Okay, this is all for today. I've drawn Watame. It's pretty solid. It's like not the best, but it's solid. Maybe I can like add here to the left side also something, you know? Left side, right side, you know? Something like that. Left side, right side. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's a lot more balanced like that. But the focus more that she looks at the right side. Yeah. I figured like, you know, if you like look at the images to the left side, you know, the samples, they look like all to the left side. I kind of noticed that when I was doing the art summary, you know. But this is like the angle I'm like really like familiar with, you know. It's kind of like, you know, the meme, you know, like when Dream, the Minecraft manhunt guy, did his face reveal. I mean, a lot of people like memed on that. To be honest, I didn't really thought much of it, you know. It's just like, yeah, look, you look decent, okay, cool face reveal, then move on, you know. I didn't really mind it. Didn't really mind that much, but you know, you do you, and cool. If the others decide to meme on you, also okay, you know, it's like their thing. It has nothing to do with me, you know, something like that. But okay, any case, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna wish you a nice rest of the day, evening, or good night, whatever time zone the world you all are. And with that, I'm gonna say bye bye.